sector is clear.
Give us everything we got! All wings!
Hey there, Agent Akasa here, aka JediBro985. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In this video is going to be the start of my series where I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips on each hero and how you can improve your gameplay across the board with basically every hero in the game. And the first video, I'm going to start with Luke. Now, this was a 57 or 59 kill streak that I just ripped off maybe about an hour and a half ago. And I decided this was the perfect background gameplay to use with Luke, because Luke is one of my favorite characters, not just in this game, but of all time in the Star Wars canon. So, you know, I figure I may as well start with one of my personal favorites. So, with that out of the way, gentlemen, tip number 1 I can give you guys is Intensify is your most important star card with Luke Skywalker. Luke's Intensify is just his best card, and you should always have on Intensify when playing as Luke, because the ability to increase when you go on kill streaks like the one I just went on in this gameplay with Luke, to be able to increase your lightsaber damage by 2 for every trooper kill or every 200 damage you deal to enemies is very powerful especially when you're going on long kill streaks like 36. I think at like 36 or 38 is when it caps out. So that's when you can like really start to feel the effects of how good his Intensify it becomes with his extra lightsaber damage, and that really allows you to play a little bit more aggressively, especially against 1 or 2 heroes. Especially 1 hero. I mean, 2 heroes is a little bit pushing it, but play extra aggressively against 1 hero, knowing that you can basically out damage them anytime you want, because Luke's saber damage is already one of the best in the game. Couple that with his swing speed, and you're dealing about maybe close to 400 damage per 2 swings in less than a second and a half. So just always be running Intensify no matter what game mode you're playing it. It is his most important star card. The second tip I'm going to give you guys with Luke Skywalker is to always take advantage of your speed. Luke is one of the fastest characters in this game, with a sprint time of 2.2 seconds. If I remember Sammy Boy's Mythbusters video that he made about 4 months ago? I can't remember when he made that video. So always take advantage of Luke Skywalker's speed. He is one of the fastest characters in the game, and you can get from point to point and get from objective to objective and capture them relatively quickly and get there faster. You can also arrive to a scene to give your team some reinforcements if they definitely need them on objectives, especially if they're contested at certain times. You can arrive there, keep that objective, or take that objective back, depending on when you arrive and stuff like that. Also, like, Luke's speed will allow him to get around heroes with his dodges and whatnot too. So going to keep that in mind too when you're definitely playing with Luke. Just always be using his speed to his advantage. He and Darth Maul are the 2 fastest characters in this game by a decent margin, actually. It's not like it's like a big gap, but you definitely want to be taking advantage of Luke's speed. The third tip I'm going to give, and this is not only just for Luke, but this is for basically heroes in general, and this tip will probably not pop up in any other tip video for any hero again, but please don't think you're invincible when you're playing as a hero, guys. You know, I cannot tell you how many times I have seen heroes just charge in to the middle of a trooper, like a squad of like 7 or 8 troopers, and think they could take them all on. Don't get me wrong, like heroes like Luke have the ability to take on multiple troopers at the same time, especially with Luke having repulse and giving him extra like damage, especially if you use the star card Epicenter, which is one of my personal favorite star cards to use alongside Luke, along with Intensify. But stop thinking you're invincible when you're playing as heroes. I see this happen so often when you charge in. I even used to do this when I was first playing, trying to get kill streaks with heroes in large scale modes, and that's why I was just never very good until I started, playing the odds and not jumping into seven or eight v1s against troopers, because even a Jedi Master like Luke, even one of the greatest Force wielders ever, can definitely get outnumbered, and he can definitely be outgunned. Even though Luke's stamina is one of the best in the game, and I would argue he has the best stamina pool in the entire game, besides Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Obi-Wan is more of just blocking stamina overall. But yeah, please stop thinking you're invincible. It irritates me so much to see people play as heroes, jump into fucking 8v1s, and then just get gunned down. And I'm sitting here with the hands over my face, Captain Picard moment, like, bruh. Anyways, the fourth tip I'm going to give you is to play Luke in close quarters. Now, some maps you can't really you cannot really handle. You cannot really have that type of a situation. Like, for example, on Yavin 4, there really is not a whole lot of close quarter areas. But in maps like the Death Star 2, Camino on certain maps, if you're playing Galactic Assault, certain areas, Phase 3 especially of Camino, like the final phase of Camino especially, is definitely a spot where Luke could shine. The first phase of Tatooine, the objectives are in close quarter areas because you got to capture a bazaar and you got to capture a cantina. So that's a great place to be playing as Luke. Even in Yavin 4 and Galactic Assault, the final phase and that's actually a really good area for Luke too, because of how condensed and close it is. But make sure, like, if you really want to get the hang of Luke, I would suggest start playing him in close quarters areas, because his push kills troopers. Like, his push does 150 damage, and it basically can one-shot every class except heavy class. So that gives you a lot of great multi-kill options. And then if you put on Epicenter and use Luke's repulse ability, if they're within the center half of the radius, you actually can could kill heavies with one repulse effect. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Don't quote me on that, but I'm definitely sure, like about 98% sure that you can one-hit kill heavies with an Epicenter repulse. So play Luke in close quarter maps. He can be very dominant and very hard to stop in those situations. Especially again when you have Luke's intensify star card start to get better with his lightsaber damage and all that, just increasing. So yes, definitely play Luke in close quarter maps. And the last tip I'm going to give, this one is going to be mostly a heroes versus villains tip, but this goes without saying. Do not be a spam swing Luke. Okay, spam swingy Lukes. Don't get me wrong, he has a lot of stamina, and like I've said before, I think he has the best overall stamina in the game, besides maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi, but again, his is more blocking stamina than it is overall attacking stamina. But please don't be a spam swingy Luke, because spam swingy Lukes, they are easy to take down, they are not very hard to beat. All you gotta do is just parry them a multiple amount of times, and then once they like dash or behind you, just get behind, turn around and maybe like hit them a couple of times. Like, spam swingy Lukes are not hard to beat. They're actually pretty easy to kill, and to me, it just I don't get why people like. Okay, my bad. I get why people like to spam swing. Don't get me wrong. It's like it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. But the thing is, there are good players like myself. We know how to do things like parries and being able to take your damage and your spam swings and throw it right back at you. So don't be a spam swingy Luke, guys. Nobody likes a spam swinger. I personally despise them, because there really is no penalty for it, which is just insane to me. But also, number two is, they're not hard to take down. You make yourself very easy to beat. You make yourself very predictable, and it can just be so easy to take down a trigger-happy Luke Skywalker that, you know, people just get annoyed and stop playing as Luke. But anyways, gentlemen, these are 5 tips that I'm going to give to you new players on how to improve your Luke Skywalker gameplay. If any other Luke mains have any other tips that they could give out, let me know in the comment section below. I wouldn't consider myself a hero main of any kind because I do have a lot of heroes in the high levels, but I have played with a lot of different heroes to where I can comfortably give out these tips and, you know, not look like, you know, a buffoon. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope I'll see you next time. Hope I see you in the next video. Peace out.